Okay, there we go. There we go. We go live. So yes, I am live on House of Healing LLC and on the Go Live. So peace, love, light, and healing to Go Live and to my House of Healing LLC family. Yes. Gentleman. You ever had a gentleman? Hey. So shout out to my Go Live family, y'all. Thank you guys for being patient. I have only been live for a few minutes. So share the live, double tap the screen. We are moving into a new energy, frequency, and vibration. So welcome aboard the mothership. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Unraveler. Ever had a gentleman? So shout out also to my House of Healing LLC family. It's been a minute. And so for those of you who will catch the playback and for those of you who may catch me live, peace, love, light, and healing, my family. It's all love. Okay? Put you up in bed like a gentleman. And yes, it is 4:31 a.m. where I am. And I want to talk about perceiving oneness and what the path to perceiving oneness looks and feels like. Double tap the screen, my people, share the live. Join with me in the vibration. I will be slowing it down and, pulling you on in with me. The dragon, I see you in the building. Peace, love, light, and healing to all of my listeners. And I do want to talk about perceiving oneness. And, because I've talked to a lot of people, and this, one thing that is really I'm very acutely aware of with a lot of people that I talk to. It just seems that a lot of people do not really perceive. And I know, and it should be that we do all perceive the world in through a different set of eyes, and so we're all looking at it from a different perspective. And so I just want to share my perspective, and because I'm really in a space of appreciating the perspective that I have. And so I just want to kind of talk about, for one, appreciation for the path that I took to get here. And because I went live on YouTube tonight as well, because actually this morning, because my YouTubers, you guys have been with me the entire time. And so you guys have watched me actually walk this path. Okay. You saw me at the beginning, where I'm going to start at, of course, the beginning of my, my little career on YouTube was not the beginning of my path, but I will begin my story tonight. And, what I'm going to share, I will start around at the time when I did become a YouTuber in 2016. So I will go back that far, just because of the energy of Mercury in retrograde. Now, I don't know if we're already in it, but I definitely feel it. And so, yeah, I know that Mercury is going retrograde soon, if it's not already there. And it's not any, for me, it's not like past energy coming back, but it is going around that same spiral, but looking at it from a higher perspective. And so we're gonna get into all of these things. In a moment. I'm trying to give my YouTubers a moment to join me here. If they should be awake. It has been a minute since I've been on here. And so I do want to give them a minute to join. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into a frequency, a sound frequency. I do like to share sound frequencies with my listeners. Again, this puts us all on on the same frequency. If we're listening and tuning in to the same vibration, then we are all on the same frequency, and the energy that I am going to be transmitting through the words and through the tones in my voice. Will match with the frequencies the other sound frequencies that you will hear. And that may be anything, okay? It most definitely will be the music. It may be my bowls, but you may hear a dog bark. You may hear a siren in the background. Everything that you hear during one of my sessions is significant. And if it is significant, I will make that clear, okay? So, welcome to the people who have just joined. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate your energy. And so, I am going to take a minute again to fine tune the frequency. Shout out to my House of Healing LLC family on YouTube as well. I am live right now on Bigo Live and on YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Unraveler, Savage, Ace Good. I see you in the building. And again, we're going to talk about oneness, and more than just talk about it. I am going to be placing these visuals in your mind. I am going to be sharing some energy with you guys. And so I do want to, for those of you who don't know me, I am a certified Reiki master. And so if you are going to join in my session, I do want you to understand that in my session, if you are consenting to stay here and listen, you are then giving me permission to connect with your energy. Now, when I do connect with your energy, you may feel some sort of physical sensation such as vibrations. You may feel just any physical sensation. Usually it is some sort of vibration in the body, some sort of, you may feel emotions rising. If that happens, do not suppress those emotions, but allow those to rise to the surface and to be released. You are unraveling, okay? If you do begin to feel any emotion rise to the surface, if you begin to get downloads of your own, you are being activated. And again, if you feel vibrations or a slight breeze, this is just my energy connecting with your energy. So if you do if you have decided to stay, welcome. And again, welcome to my YouTubers. I am back, and we will be moving into the higher levels of experience going forward, using a mixture of the teaching method that I have been using on YouTube for years, and also what I have integrated since I have begun to also teach on Bigo Live. And not only am I teaching on YouTube and on Bigo Live, I'm also learning in both places. So, just to be completely understood that I do not stand in a place of superiority to anyone. Okay, so this is not my perspective. So welcome to the people who have joined. I do fully recognize that it is 4:38 a.m. And welcome to the people who are joining me in my YouTube live room as well. House of Healing LLC. I am back, my people, and I am here to stay. Okay, so Vigo Live, if you will. Double tap the screen and share the live. Okay. Also, to everyone listening, I just need an energetic consent once again to connect with your energy, and I just need you to be in an energy of receiving. Okay. So the energy of receiving, first of all, um, I'm not, this is going to be a completely spontaneous channeling. I'm not going to say completely spontaneous because I do have some talking points that I do want to talk about, but at the same time, I do feel that most of this is going to be direct messages from spirit. So just let me warn the people who don't know me. It's nothing scary. It's really a beautiful thing. So before I go into it, I just want, I would like for, um, okay, so I'm already getting ready to go into it. I forgot what I was getting ready to say, okay, but it was something to my Bigo Live family. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bigo Live. Jay Wood, I see you in the building. Um, yeah, everyone, double tap the screen, share the live, and my YouTube family, I know you are surprised to see me, um, but I knew that you knew that I would be back at some point. Okay, so we are listening to a mixture of 432, 528, and 963 hertz. Okay, and this does raise your overall energy frequency and vibration, which is the goal. And so we're going to be talking about um, the perception and perceiving oneness. Perceiving oneness. Welcome to the people joining me on YouTube Live. Okay. I do appreciate the energy. My eyes were just closed, but I had to open my eyes because I did feel other energies joining me live on YouTube as well. To my Bigo Live people, I do appreciate the love. Okay, double tap the screen, share the live, share the vibe. The vibe is love as always in my room, in my space, in my energy. Share the love, y'all. It's free. Okay. Unless you want to throw a sister some beans, and then that's even more love. Okay. So breathe deeply, my people. And for those of you who know me, I usually stay on a pretty high vibration. And so I do want you to share, I'm offering you this vibration. So not only am I going to be connecting with your energy, but I'm going to be sharing with you my energy. And my energy is all kinds of beautiful rainbow colors, and it's got a little bit of sun mixed in with it. You know what I'm saying? It's got that true joy and the fruits of the spirit, and it's beautiful and it's luminous. You know what I'm saying? It is divine. Okay? It is divine. So I just want to share it because I want to see this light spread, and I want to see, you know what I'm saying, y'all be happy and feel the way that I feel, as far as, the oneness that I feel. And this is not an act. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because when it's a true and real energy, frequency, and vibration, it can be felt. Okay. So before I move forward, because I did go from one vibe to another, because, I tend to do that. I do want to invite you guys, as I look at my clock, it is 4:44 a.m. Okay, a very beautiful message for me. That one of my closest friends is you know what I'm saying, very much tuned in as well. And so just join me in this very peaceful and loving, receptive vibration. Because more than anything, it's about mindfulness. Okay, and this is what I really, this is the aspect of House of Healing that the Unraveler um, facilitates. Okay, because this is what is needed to be aware of the fact that the reality that you are within is a reality that you created, and that essentially you are within a construct created by your own mind. Essentially, you are inside of your own mind. Okay, and so everything that you see around you is just a reflection. It is so I'm going to break this down, because I know that a lot of people hear me say this a lot, but I really want to unravel it even further for you, for those who don't get it, because I know that some of you get it, and what's understood doesn't need to be explained. But for those who don't get it, I want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit further, on that as well. So this has been a very high energy day for me. It has been, and the days leading up to today, they weren't very high energy. I was feeling drained, and um, just a little bit fatigued. It's this familiar fatigue that that empaths get just from interacting with too many people, and just not taking the time to rest and recover. And so yeah, and so but today, well, yesterday technically, I felt really energetic. I was very productive. I got a lot done, and I was getting so many downloads throughout the night. And I just kind of sat up and was taking it all in. And I was getting, one of the main messages that I was getting, because y'all know the Most High has a sense of humor, okay? I just, because it's so many things that I want to talk about. I got to tie all of this together. So, because I'm getting downloads right now, right? So, I am going to put all of this in order together, and I'm just I'm gonna share. But let me go ahead and just balance my energies first, because I am feeling um, some beautiful energies coming in. So I do appreciate the energies that have joined me. Um, Pretty young thing, I see you in the building. D Savage, Michael Myers, Fred Rod. And I do know, like I said, it is 4:47 a.m. So I do appreciate the energy, and I am recording this for those who do. For those of you who don't catch me live, you will be able to catch the playback or some version of it, okay, on House of Healing LLC. So I want to talk about perceiving oneness, and I guess it's all going to come back around to the perception of oneness and there being one being having many experiences, but the laws that all of these beings that appear to be separate are having all point back to the truth that there is but one being having many experiences. And so I kind of want to tie this in together with the path of healing, which is, also the path of spirituality, which takes you through the valley of the shadows of death into, a light that you would not have been able to even perceive had you not gone through that valley. And at where this road ends at is, the road that takes you through that valley of the shadows of death. It also, it takes you into a lot of different places. You go through the darkness and you come out into the light. And when you come out, you go in, one type of creature, and you come out a different creature altogether. And then the entire road, at the very end of it, it culminates in self-love. And, when you get to that point of self-love, you realize why the self-love was absolutely necessary as a rite of passage into what we call heaven or oneness with God. That path, which I'm also going to, I didn't realize it until now, but I'm going to, I kind of did, because I had an idea in my mind that I was going to use the yellow brick road in Wizard of Oz as an analogy for the path of spirituality, which is also a path of healing and a path that leads to wholeness and self-realization and oneness with that which we call God, and also oneness with one another. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate truth is that there is but one being having many experiences. And so the goal, or what I want you guys to share with me in this moment, in this time and space, is the vision of the one being, understanding that your perception is just one angle that this being is looking at the reality from, and that everyone else has a different perception. And I know that I'm saying things that you already know, but I want it to sink in a little bit deeper. I want it to be a more profound realization. I wanted to resonate with the energies that are coming in right now. There's a very strong love energy that I'm feeling coming in. It's very reminiscent of the energy of the 70s, because I'm a 70s baby, and they always was talking about love. And, everyone talks about, the flower children and all these people, and how they was on drugs and all of that. But there was a vibe in the air, a vibration of love, okay, that I feel like is being reawakened on this planet at this time, that is very reminiscent of the 70s. And yet, it has that nostalgic feel of the 70s, and yet it's very new as well. It's like an upgraded version, of the agape love that they were attempting to demonstrate and experience in the 70s. But let me not get off track, okay? Because I am getting a lot of downloads, and the perception of oneness comes at the end of, and I'm not even going to say it's the end of the road, but it comes once the healing has been achieved on this path. So right now, this is, in 2 days, it'll be the third anniversary. So it'll be 3 years. On the 13th, it'll be 3 years since I separated from, the narcissistic relationship that catapulted me into the spiritual awakening and actually onto the path. Okay, and I'm going to be talking a lot about the path because I've learned just by walking it that it is a path, okay, that has been paved and walked by many other people before you. A lot of the ascended masters and the sages and the people who left spiritual texts and holy texts and words of wisdom and knowledge and of power. Those words pertain so they are so pertinent and so significant to the path, and it's not until you actually step on the path and begin to walk it that you can fully appreciate the words, the power in the words, the intention behind the words, and the intention and the thoughtfulness of the people who actually left those words. They were like breadcrumbs for us, you know what I'm saying, to know how to navigate this path going forward. And so I am very appreciative of the breadcrumbs that have been left. And one of the reasons why I have been inspired to leave my own. Okay. And so, so I would say I was catapulted onto the path 3 years ago. And it was a shocking awakening, something that was inevitable, that was unavoidable, something that on a deeper level that I chose, that I decided to have happen in that time and space, but then something that the carnal part of me was not. I'm not going to say I wasn't prepared for. I guess I was as prepared as you could be for something that you were not supposed to be prepared for. Okay, because the unpreparedness was actually written into the script. Okay, so without going too deeply into the story, Friday the 13th of 2019. I basically had a dream. It was a full moon this night. And again, it was Friday the 13th. And I basically woke up from a dream. And the dream that I woke up from began to unfold in real life. Okay, so basically the dream that I was dreaming about was that the person that I was in a relationship with at the time was basically in a dream. He had started an argument for no reason, which was typical of him because he was a narcissist. So he started an argument for no reason was basically trying to find a reason to be able to leave. And so this is what was happening in the dream that I had on this full moon. And I woke up to him in the closet, fumbling around packing his things in like this in this frantic energy. Because when I woke up, I didn't say anything to him because I woke up from a dream that he was, that in the dream he was doing the same thing. And so when I woke up, it was just very peculiar. It was very early in the morning. It was earlier than I normally wake up. I knew that it was my spirit that had woken me up, because I woke up in a very peaceful, like there wasn't anything that actually happened to wake me up. I basically was having this dream, and then once the dream, it was like I woke up from the dream and just kind of opened my eyes, and like I said, what I had been dreaming about, it began to unfold in real life. And so I just knew not to say anything, and I just to watch him. So he didn't realize that I was awake. He thought that I was still sleeping. So I watched. I woke up. I opened my eyes, and I was watching him. And he was packing things and packing his bags in the closet, and I'm just sitting here wondering what's going on. Now, this is someone who I had, if there's 111 in the chat for some reason, and my spirit told me to open my eyes. Everything means something. My people, double tap the screen, okay? And share the live, okay? And also shout out to YouTube. I am back, my people. I was told to get back up here to continue to share, continue to teach, because that my voice is needed, and that everything that I do is very significant. And I knew this anyway. I just honestly, it'll make sense once I'm done telling this story. But basically, I have been granted a whole lot of time to heal, and I've been granted a whole lot of time and space for, for relaxing and recovering from everything that I've been through, because I have gone through a lot. And so I was granted a whole lot of time to heal. Again, I'm going on my third year. This will be 3 years, on the 13th. And I would say for this past 3 years, I have been being pampered by spirit, by the universe, by myself. You know what I'm saying? Essentially by God. Okay, and in all these forms. And so, I feel, and I felt, not felt, I know that, my time of chilling and resting and recovering and all of that has come to an end, because I have completely healed, and you know what I'm saying, I'm good. And so and I am going to get back to where I was in the story, but I do want to shout out to Stephanie Smith, because she always comes through with the messages that I need to hear directly from spirit, because even though I am a direct channel, I also listen to other direct channels, because we can't, sometimes we don't get all our messages, because sometimes we're not listening as well. And so when Stephanie came and told me, and I feel like it was a direct message. I know that other people tapped into the message, but basically she had a message the other day, and basically saying that, the Most High was saying, how can I show out if you don't show up? And I knew that was just for me. Like, that slapped your girl directly in the face. And so I knew that it was my time, because I do have a lot to say. I have been chosen to use my voice, and it is an honor. It is a privilege. And I have been given ample time and space to heal myself. And I have done that. And so, now I don't have any excuse to not be here and not be consistent and not to be doing my job. Okay. Shout out to Maji got the tea. Okay. Maji got the tea is always saying, if God hired me, who gonna fire me? Okay, because I know on YouTube that my I don't even want to speak of enemies or haters, because I'm never dipping back down into that low of a vibration. But I just want to say that I know that there were people that didn't think that I would be back on YouTube. And I don't know, for what reason that, whatever reason that they would think, but I did take a break. And so this is my first day back on YouTube, doing live. I mean, of course, I have continued to post on my channels. My channels have remained active, but I kind of went from YouTube to Bigo Live, and I stopped going live on YouTube. And so this has been, again, this is a change in the wind, you know what I'm saying? And a changing of the guards as well. But where was I at in my story? I don't want to keep losing track of what I was saying, but shout out to the people that are joining me on YouTube, and also in Bigo Live. Again, double tap the screen, share the live, talking about the path that how I was, catapulted onto the path of spirituality, self-realization, and oneness with God. Okay. I was catapulted into that spiritual awakening by being ghosted by a narcissist after being emotionally and mentally, and I don't want to say, it was abuse, But I never, I don't see myself as a victim or anything like that. So I never want anybody to hear me as saying that. But just being tormented and being under a very high level of stress for, I would say 2 years, because my first year I was being love bombed. And so I would say for the 2 years, at the end of it, it was very stressful. Now I can talk about the details of that all day and all of that, and I talk about that a lot. So I'm not going to go too much into the details of that, because that is something that I have officially put behind me. However, I do use it to teach from, and I am very proud of the fact that I did take my pain and turn it into profit. And I used it, I took the meat and I left the bones, and now I use it as, I teach from it, and I have made it my life's work to, do everything I can to prevent other people from going through what I went through with narcissistic abuse. And so I don't have any bitterness, I don't have any resentment, or anything, attached to that. And, speaking of attachment, I wanted to talk about how I got to the point where I have learned the art of detachment, and what this path has looked like for the past 3 years, um, from where I was when I was left for dead by a narcissist, into where I got here. Now, I'm not going to take Looks like YouTube is still up. Okay. So, to my people who are in my YouTube live, let me know, if you can, put a comment or a one or something in the comments to let me know if you can still hear me. So, Bigo Live, it looks like I did not go down on YouTube. So, I don't think I'm going to have to restart the live. Okay. So I will restart the story. I'm trying to get my phone in a place and like where I can be comfortable, because um, so I can actually shift the energy, for real, for real. And, just bear with me, you guys, because I don't usually do a single live, but I felt a change in the wind, and I wanted to switch things up a little bit and do these single lives. And I want to let my Bigo Live family know that usually when I am doing a single live, I am probably going to go into a direct channel from spirit, meaning that I will be getting direct downloads and giving them as they come in. And so basically I have some talking points, on my mind, and I will begin to talk, but you may hear a change in my voice. It is still me. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with no disembodied spirits or anything like that. I do work with angelic spirits, okay, and angelic spirits only, and the spirits that are of a high vibration, which is Archangel Michael and the Most High. And I do channel Earth energy, so I may speak for Mother Earth at times. Okay, so these are the energies that I work with. My YouTubers already know this. I have been a YouTuber for 6 years, and I have had several channels on YouTube. And so this is only new to my Bigo Live people. Okay. And so I am a direct channel for spirit, and I do give direct messages. And I do feel that I am going to be delivering some messages at some point in the channel today. Okay, so if you cannot hear me well enough, or if there's anything that I need to adjust for my Bigo Live people, let me know before I go in, because I will not be looking at the screen if I do begin channeling. And YouTube, let me know also if there's anything that I do need to YouTube, also let me know if there's anything I need to change as far as volume and all of that. So yeah, it's again, we're going on the 3rd year anniversary of me being free from the narc demon and turning that pain into a passion, into a profit, and into a prophecy as well. In order to teach about narcissism, and in order to be able to help people to heal from the damage that being a victim or being a survivor of narcissistic abuse can cause. I had to actually walk that path myself to be able to know what I was talking about, okay, and to be able to relate to the people that I was teaching, because believe it or not, I was teaching about narcissism before I actually went through the abusive relationship that I actually had gone through. So I did go to school for psychology, okay, and I studied abnormal psychology because I was always interested in what caused a person to be abnormal, okay, and so it's been 3 years, okay, and I talk a lot about some of the things that I have survived, and the things that I've overcome, and the things that I've come to understand. After dealing with a narcissist, and I'm now at the point where I even appreciate the experience, and I never thought that I would say that, because it was the most difficult experience that I've ever gone through in my life, and I do mean on every level, as far as I've experienced deaths, and the mourning that I experienced after this was even worse, because what it did was trigger emotional wounds that were a part of my DNA. They were generational curses. They were not just my wounds, they were also my ancestors' wounds that I was carrying encoded in my own DNA. So when I was ghosted by a narcissist, it triggered abandonment issues. It triggered a lot of deep emotional wounds that I had been carrying in my DNA that went further back than just this lifetime. And so it almost took me out. The pain, the trauma of it almost took me out, but almost doesn't count. Okay, so I did, in fact, go through several spiritual deaths and rebirths, but that was all part of the process of going from a butterfly. I'm sorry, of going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Very painful process. And I did go live on YouTube tonight because my YouTubers actually watched me go through this process. And Go Live, you guys met me, I would say I was 3/4 of the way already through the process. Okay. Yes, the cottage. I'm glad that you're looking up butterflies because for me, they represent transformation. And I'm sitting under a bunch of butterflies right now. I have them on my wall. They're all over my house. I've had plenty of prophetic dreams um, where I was given the message of transformation using the symbolism of butterflies. Okay. And so I talk a lot about the dream that I had there's only been two dreams that I've had that in my life that I've given titles to. Now, all my life I have had prophetic dreams, but these two dreams were major. And so they were the only two dreams that I ever felt a need to like put a title on it. Okay. So the dream that I had that had all the butterflies in it, I called it the time of change. And I had that dream. It was about a good 22, 23 years ago that I had the dream. And the dream was telling me about the time that we're in right now. Okay. And I talk a lot about that. So I'm not going to go into that dream, into the details of it right now. That can be a whole nother live as well. What I want to talk about is the downloads that I've been getting today. I am going to start going live nightly because I do get downloads very often, and for some reason, I've just been keeping it to myself. There's several reasons. I mean, I don't even want to go into it because I am releasing a lot tonight, you guys. Happy full moon, by the way, my people, to those who are, intimately connected to the celestial bodies. Okay. I hope that you are enjoying this energy. There is much love in it. Regardless of what may be rising to the surface within you to be released, go ahead and release it. And it will be replaced by the love that is flowing in. Okay. So I'm sending everyone love, light, and healing in the tones in my voice, and also in the words that I will be using going forward. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I am a certified Reiki master. I do distance healing. And so I do want to let you know, all 114 of you who are within earshot of my voice, that you joining me here is giving me permission to connect with your energy. And I do want to let you know that if I do connect with your energy, it will be beneficial for your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. The only thing that you may experience during the transmission of these healing vibrations would be maybe a subtle vibration in your body or a slight breeze that does not seem to come from, the wind blowing or a fan, or, you know what I'm saying? You would feel the energy moving. You may feel vibrations, or you may feel strong emotions beginning to rise to the surface. And do not suppress those energies in motion, but allow them to move through you. Okay, you are a conduit for these energies, and as they move through you, a lot of toxicity will be moving out, and you will feel a warmer and lighter energy replace that. Okay, so I do want to get you guys used to the sensation of letting go, because a lot of times we suppress energies that should be in motion. That's what our emotions are, energies in motion. And so when they come up, don't push it back down. And I know that it is a habit that a lot of us have, is to push it back down as we're moving into a higher level of experience, a level of a more acute awareness. And a level of acute awareness of the self, a higher level of experience of the self. So how do we have this perception of oneness? How do we perceive this oneness? How do we get to this higher level of experience? How do we shift our perception to see the law of oneness in action in our reality? I know that, I'm not saying anything new to a lot of you. I know that a lot of you are aware of the law of oneness, but let us all just be reminded, because even though we're aware of it, we're not having a profound enough experience of it. Like it should be the main experience that we are having. So double tap the screen, my people, share the live, because I do feel I do feel, okay, that's a statement in itself. It's a statement in itself. So the proof that, for those who need the proof that there is just one being having many experiences, is understanding how the laws work and what the universe actually is to this one being, right? Because I'm always going forward with everything that I'm going to say. I'm going to always remind you of the one being, and I want you to internalize this one being, okay? Because the one being, though it may be speaking through my voice and listening through yours, it is still one being. So in this time and space, I may be the voice and you may be the ears. It's still one being. So going forward, the visuals that I will be inserting should not be hard to see. And the words won't be hard to understand. And the vibrations, if your heart is open, if you're ready to open your third eye, then open your heart. I just said something. If you really want to see, your heart must be open. The third eye, the first eye, is intimately linked to the heart center, the heart chakra. So the steps that we take, because I started off talking about how it's catalyzed onto the path. I was forced onto the path unexpectedly by, a traumatic experience, which is usually how we all got here. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, double tap the screen if it resonates. A lot of us are catapulted onto the path of spirituality by a traumatic experience. A lot of your spiritual gifts were activated in that trauma. I appreciate the love. So once I got onto the path, because I was, all my life I've been a spiritual person. I've had, gifts. And I'm sure that a lot of you also have had and do have gifts and all of this. But, believe me, my people, the rabbit hole gets deeper. And it gets deeper and deeper. And so the way that my perspective has changed from seeing the Most High as the Most High, when I understand how the universe works and how what the universe is in relation to me and what I am and what God is and what the universe is to me, I don't see God anymore as the Most High. Now, I do know that God is the highest vibration, but when I think about it and when I get the visual of what God truly is and where God truly is, I just think of God as the most deep. The most deep, okay? Because the visual that I get in the downloads that I see, the relationship of God to the universe. And before I can even talk about the relationship of God to the universe, I have to talk about the relationship of where God is within me, okay? So the path that I have walked has gotten me to where I'm at, to where I know that God is within me. And really wrapping, because people say that, and I hear people say it all the time, and I said it, for years before I really wrapped my mind around it and really like let that sink in, to the point where I can experience it now. You know what I'm saying? And this is not new, like it just happened today, but today, I just have like such a profound appreciation for it because, talking to a lot of other people, I realized like that, it just made me remember when I did not have the perspective that I have now. And I was seeking for God outside of myself. And it perceived this illusion of separation between myself and God. And so the perspective that I have now, and this is not just a concept, but it is an experience, that God really is looking out at the world through my eyes. Okay. And it just makes everything, it's like, okay, through my eyes. So that means that, it just makes perfect sense to understand that, like, sayings like, no matter where you go, there you are. When I think about people who do wrong, because see, understanding and me accepting that God is within me and is looking out through my eyes and having my experiences with me and through me, I understand the relationship, and I understand like why people feel guilt when they do wrong, even though if nobody was looking, because because it's like God was looking, okay, through your eyes. So it's like you can't get away from the things that you do. And at the same time, when you've been a good person, it's like I find peace in knowing that God is within me and God knows my heart and my intentions, and you know what I'm saying? That brings me peace. And so just to remember when I didn't have the perspective of knowing that there really is no separation. Like, so when we talk about God, we're really talking about the self, okay? And even though those are words that we say, we really got to really wrap our minds around this, okay? Because then it makes everything make sense, and then you'll understand how the laws of the universe actually work and why they work the way that they do. Okay. So, for instance, to understand, because one of the things that I used to do when I was in my lower self was I used to take things because I always felt like, I felt like I knew that I deserved to have the best. And I always felt the oppression that was in this world, even as a child. And I feel like I brought this in with me from, another lifetime or whatever, in my DNA, like I said, just knowing that when I came in, I just felt like nobody was going to take anything from me. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going to be deprived of what I knew was rightfully mine by birthright. And so I started off in this life with the ignorance of, I'm just going to take it. Okay, instead of learning how to manifest it. Well, I have, since learned how to manifest it. But what I learned from taking things when I was younger was that is not how you get things. Okay, you don't get by taking, you get by giving. And just think of, so let me give the visual. when I say this, because like I said, I know you're hearing the words, but I really want y'all to really wrap your minds around this so you understand how abundance flows and why it flows the way that it does, and why self-love must be in place for you to be able to manifest anything of any high vibration. So visualize yourself in the mirror, okay? Because the universe is God in the mirror. I just said something, okay? The universe is God in the mirror. So if God is in you, okay? So because I'm trying to bring this all back, I'm trying to reconcile everything and show you how everything is one, and there's no separation, and everything is unified. And I'm going to illustrate for you the unified field, and I'm going to tell you what it's made of and everything else, okay? So the universe is God in the mirror, and God is in you, right? So the universe is mirroring everything back to you, but for the sake of the lesson, just imagine yourself physically in a physical mirror, literally, and you want to know how to magnetize money to yourself, or how to manifest money. You are looking at yourself in the mirror because the truth of the reality, regardless of what your eyes perceive as there being many beings, there really is only one being. It's you in the mirror, right? So your eyes may say, well, there's me and there's the guy in the mirror, right? And that your eyes may feel like there's two, right? But there's really only one. And the way that you prove it is, if you want to receive, you have to give, because it's only you, right? And so take the money out of your pocket and hand it to the guy in the mirror, right? And so I hope y'all are getting it, because this is how I'm seeing it in my mind, right? So if you hand the money to the person in the mirror, it's just like, your left hand handing the money to your right hand, and the time lapse in between you giving it to that other person and you receiving it as that, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say as the other person, because I want you to understand that it is going to come back to you. Okay, the money, the energy, the love, the attention, whatever it is that you give, okay, to what appears to be another person, because every other person is just a mirror. The whole entire universe that you see, that appears to be what you're perceiving with your eyes, with your physical eyes, are just reflections of God in the mirror. And you are God. So when I say that, for those who find a hard time accepting that you are God, I'm waiting for the proper visualization, okay, to place. Because I like using water, okay? I love water. It's my favorite element, for many reasons. So let's use a body of water to represent what God is, and then we'll use, some cups. We'll just use some cups, and our bodies are the cups, and we've been dipped into the ocean, and now the cups are filled with the water. So the water would be the Spirit of God in us. The ocean would be God. So when you dipped the cups in the ocean, the cups would be our bodies, which are the vessels, and the water would be the Spirit of God, you know what I'm saying, which is the spirit that's within you in the vessel. Okay. And so as the water goes into the cup, it takes the shape of the vessel. Okay. Which is why we all look different, because all the cups have been made differently. Okay. So we look different, but the essence of what's in the cup is the same water. Okay. And so understand that even though you are inside the vessel, you are still a part of that same water. So for those who have the awareness of the fact, like when the water goes into the vessel, it takes the shape of the vessel. Now, there are those who remember that I am the water, okay? And then there are those who believe that they are the vessel because the water has taken the shape of the vessel. I hope y'all are following me. So there are those who know that they are the water in the vessel. They remember being part of the ocean. And they know that even though I'm in this vessel, I'm still part of the ocean. And at any time, I can still tap into and communicate with the ocean. Okay? And so, but there are those who have taken the shape of the cup. These would be people who have become their character. They believe that the body is the totality of the self. And if you ask them who they are going to tell you what they do for a living. They're going to tell you their government name, what they do for a living, their age, how many children they have, their marital status, and things like that. But will it go any deeper? Because, like I said, God is the most deep. And the reason why I see it is because when I know that it's a mirror, and so if I'm looking up and I'm looking up at a mirror, if I'm going up to the Most High, in reality, I would really be going deeper within myself, where God is at the core of me. So if you can decode the mirror, then the Most High is also the most deep. Okay? The most deep. Not the most low, but the most deep. Because, see, the most low is part of the illusion. There is one being having many experiences. So even the most low is just one of the experiences that the whole is having. Okay? It's just one of the experiences. And so I want to show you how to tap into the whole, the ocean that is having every experience. Because even though it may sound complicated, it's actually very simple. It's actually very simple. What's simple about it is that if you don't allow yourself to forget that there is but one being having many experiences, and even if you can get to the point where you can drop the having many experiences part and just understand that there is but one being, and that the universe is God looking in the mirror. So if I want to get something, if I want to receive, I have to give. Because the guy in the mirror, I got to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? He has to receive it. So it's like, or I don't even, even not using the mirror thing, because some people might not get that. It would be like your left hand giving something to your right hand, because there's only one person. So you only got two hands. So you and another person's hands represent the same body with different hands on the same body. So God has more than those two hands. All of our hands are God's hands. So if I take my money, and I don't just use money, I want to say my love, my attention, whatever I'm giving, and I give it to another person, if I send it out into the world in whatever way, shape, or form, it has to come back to me, because what's out there is just a mirror, right? It's a reflection. It's a boomerang. It comes back. This is why, everything you send out, this is why what goes around comes around. This is why whatever you give out will be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Because when you send an energy out, it goes around a figure eight, a figure eight spiral, a figure eight form. And as it's going around this figure eight, which if you unravel the figure eight, it's just a circle. Okay, so let's just see it going, the energy shooting out from you as the source and going around this circle. And as it's going around the circle, it's gathering more and more more and more thoughts and thought forms of like vibration. So by the time it comes back around to you, it has snowballed and it has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And so when it comes back around to you, it has been pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So this is any quality of energy that you send out. And so knowing this and having this understanding, then it should be obvious what quality of energy that we want to send out. It should be very obvious what quality of energy that we want to send out. Okay, and understanding that there is but one being in the center of this mirror. Okay, as I'm saying, universe, it is a mirror that is surrounding you on all sides. So if you understand the mirror, you can figure out how to create the reality that you want, being the center of it all. You This is why, now let me take it back to scripture, because there are going to be some people who understand the visuals that I give. There are going to be some who understand the subliminals and the parables and the riddles, and there are some who just need the scripture. Okay, and so whichever way that you take it, just take it and utilize it, and make it real. And I don't like pulling from books and scriptures, because I really want to get people into cultivating that real relationship, because the books are, they're fine and they are a tool, and everything has its place. But as we move into a higher level of consciousness and a greater level of experience, we have to it's time to apply the knowledge at this point. You know what I'm saying? And no longer always be needing to refer to the book, but we should have eaten those books by now. They should be integrated into the DNA, and we should be living this word. Okay, and so we have to move beyond the books to actually doing what the books say. Okay, and so basically I'm trying to integrate the whole listening to your intuition and knowing truth by the way that it feels. And it's okay to use books as a reference point, or as something, but I don't want people to be dependent upon books, because I don't care how holy the book is, it can also become an idol. Okay, and it can be something that stands between you and a true relationship with God. Okay, and so again, the universe is God in the mirror. And so whatever it is that you wish to receive or you want to see show up in your reality, you have to participate in creating it. First of all, by understanding first that everything already exists. If it's something that you can imagine, it already exists in it's like you have to become a vibrational match to the reality that you are trying to align yourself with. So there is nothing that you can imagine that the whole that God has not already imagined. Okay, so when it comes into your imagination, it's literally being sent to you, okay, from your highest self, which is God. Okay, and so when you get something, a desire that comes up in your heart, that blossoms in your heart, a desire, a question, a dream, a vision, these are all being sent to you by your higher self. This is God saying, come this way, do this. This is how you get back to me. This is how you get back to what we call heaven. This is how you get back to home. Okay, the universe is God in the mirror. We have been told that the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay, so if the kingdom of heaven is within you, then it would behoove you to go within instead of looking outside, looking into books, looking into other people, looking into anything other than within yourself. For the truth, for the answers, okay, for the confirmation, to know what God is and where God is. We can't, we can't constantly be listening to other people. We can't be reading books to think we're going to get the understanding. The only irrefutable truth of God that you are going to have is going to come through experiencing God. And the way that you're going to experience God is to experience being God. Now, that may sound like blasphemy to people who have been indoctrinated, but being God is just allowing the spirit that is within you to fully for yourself to fully embody that spirit, and that spirit to fully take the wheel of your life, to acknowledge the God that is within you, that indwelling spirit, to actually go within and have a conversation, to begin to receive guidance from that spirit, okay? To begin to cultivate this relationship where you have 100% trust, okay, in the self, because in the self is where God is. In order to close the gap that appears to be there. The key word is appears to be there, because see, appearances can be very deceiving when you're looking with your physical eyes. And so though there appears to be a gap, or you may perceive a gap between you and God, you may perceive distance. When you begin to cultivate that relationship, that perceived gap, that perceived distance begins to close. You begin to get that greater, deeper, more profound understanding of the fact that God is within you. And people say, well, I already know that. So do you know that you are God? Because if God is within you, as the spirit that is within you, then if you think there's a separation, then what part are you and what part is God? Like, do you identify with the self as the body? So like, if you see, this is the perception that must shift. We cannot perceive the self as the body, because then we think that we can die, right? The body, I don't care how well you take care of it, one day the body will be laid aside. But the spirit, your true identity, the truth of who and what you really are, is life itself. It does not die, because it cannot die. So that spirit within you that is life itself is who you are, and it's also who God is. I just said so. The spirit that a lot of you worship in these deities and in these ascended masters and in these teachers is the same spirit that is within you right now. You don't have to wait for it to come in you. You don't have to wait for it to fall on you. You only have to wake it up. You only have to allow it to take the wheel. It's already there. The people who are waiting for God to come back, or waiting for Jesus to return, or whatever that you're waiting for, that which you are waiting for is waiting for you to acknowledge it. Acknowledge the self. So it would behoove you to be mindful of what part of you do you identify with as the self. Are you the body, or are you the soul? Are you the spirit in the body? Because if you are the spirit in the body and God is in you, The Spirit of God is in you, and I'm also the Spirit. That's my true identity, right? So doesn't that mean that you are God? See, in order to receive this truth, you have to first unlearn all of the deception and the lies that you have been told about yourself. That's why something is simple, because what I'm saying is very simple. It's very simple. And yet, it's hard to fully receive because of the ways that our minds have been programmed. So we can say words because, see, people are used to having cognitive dissonance. It's just become a natural part of being human. Cognitive dissonance, where, my mind has been programmed to think and act a certain way, and yet my heart feels something completely different. This cognitive dissonance has created the imbalance that we are experiencing now as our reality. This patriarchal society where the masculine energy is running things, because we create this reality, and because we have allowed our mind, our intellect, to create our reality without much input from the heart, we manifest this reality as a patriarchal society where the masculine energy is running things without much input from the woman. I just said something. We experience the reality that we are experiencing because of the way that we perceive ourselves, who and what we perceive the self to be. It goes beyond the body. The body is just a vessel. It can be taken on and off, just like an outfit. The body is just a vessel. You are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God is in you. It is you, as you. So the first step is to understand and receive this truth, that you are not your body. The body is not the totality of the self. So when we imagine death, we imagine the body, laying the body down, and then the spirit leaving the body. And for some reason, a lot of people identify with being the body that got left, that the spirit left. My spirit left me. But I'm going to need y'all to shift your perspective to being the spirit that left. You are the spirit. You left the body. The spirit didn't leave you because you are not the body. You are the spirit that is leaving. You are the spirit that is going on to have other experiences. The body is just an avatar. The spirit is the consciousness. It's who you are. And when you see life from that perspective and you understand the truth of who you are, you know then that you have already been granted eternal life. You are life itself. And then you can go down the rabbit hole, because the first step and the first thing, because going down this whole rabbit hole is going down this path, going down the yellow brick road. Okay, you have to pack light. So there's a lot of things that you're going to be releasing along the way. Come through, Spirit. So I'm just now beginning to say something, okay? for me go live, y'all gonna have to get used to me, because this is how I do. Like I'm just getting warmed up, because I just came on here, and I feel like I'm rambling, but it will all come together to make sense. I promise. I really want to demonstrate working together with your own spirit, okay, and allowing spirit to take the wheel, and what that looks like and what it feels like and why it must be done, for you to even see the new thing that God is doing, for you to even perceive the truth and the reality as it is. Your perception must be corrected. Your mind must be changed about a lot of things, because our minds have been programmed into a box that's way too small for the truth. The truth will set you free from that box. I just said something. The truth is, there is no separation between you and God, or from me and you. There's no separation between God and us, and us and one another. We get so focused on the physical aspect of things. And I know that it's very convincing. I mean, the illusion seems very real. It is real. It was created this way so that we could enjoy manifesting our own realities. This is what it is to be a god and goddess, to be a child of the Most High, or the Most Deep, okay? To be a child of the Most Deep, you're going to have the abilities that your parents have, okay? When you are in alignment, when you have your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional bodies in alignment, your words have power. Your thoughts take form and take and have lives of their own. And they're all a part of you. This is what we are. We are thoughts in the mind of the Most Deep. And we have lives of our own. We are a dream that God is having. And the world, the reality that we are experiencing is a dream that we are having collectively. In your own individual world and experiences, this is a dream that you are having as the individual cell within the body of God. So the Great Awakening is awakening from a dream within a dream within a dream. Who's ready? Who's ready to unravel it? Who's ready to do their big one and unravel this? Yes, you are still dreaming, my people. You may have woken up from one level, or you may be just awakening and you're still in a dream and you're still in another one. But you can awaken, because even though it has several layers like Pandora's box, once you open one, it's like a domino effect, right? It's the most deep. So you open the biggest box, and then there's a smaller box, and a smaller, and a smaller, and a smaller. And then you get to the last box. The last box, that's where the truth is. That box is where your consciousness is. that box is the one that needs to be open for you to be set free. So do you get the visual as when you begin to open Pandora's box, which is the different layers of your dream? You open that biggest box and then the smaller box and a smaller and a smaller and a smaller one. So by the time you get to the box where your consciousness is truly contained in, all the other layers have already been removed. So when you get to that core box and you open it, the truth that is in that box will set you free. All the other layers will have already been removed. So to receive, you have to give. The universe is God in the mirror, meaning that the universe is mirroring back to you as the individual, your eternal state of being. Heaven and hell are states of mind that then create states of being, because when you are a child of the most deep, that's how your mind works. Your thoughts become things. Your words are commands. The things you write down are spells. Okay? You got that magic. You got that sauce. If you are a child of the most deep, why wouldn't you? Didn't you pass on some of your gifts and talents to your offspring? And didn't your ancestors pass on some of their gifts and talents to you? Well, guess what? Your ancestors had ancestors and they had ancestors. And if you trace that all the way back, you go back to the whole. You go back to that ocean. You go back to God. So that magic trickled down through the DNA from the very source of all power. It is within you, it just needs to be activated. The only thing that would block this power from flowing from the very core of you, because it's not coming in from outside of you, it's going to be flowing out of you from inside. Pandora's box, remember. You must be unraveled. Miss B, I see you in the building. Jay Bizzle, Boss Man. Y'all, I'm just kind of rambling. I'm just allowing, I'm getting downloads and I'm just sharing. And this is how I've always moved and operated on YouTube. And I am live right now on YouTube, House of Healing LLC. And I'm also live on Bigo Live. And I am going to be doing my daily downloads. And so I just want to, first of all, welcome you all, okay, into my vibration at this moment. I am sending you all love, light, and healing frequencies. I am a certified Reiki master, and I am connecting with you energetically in this moment if you are within earshot of my voice. I'm sending you love and light. So, again, my desire is, and not even, my desire is tied into my purpose, okay? And my purpose is my desire, and my desire is to dissolve this illusion of separation between God and one another. There is no separation. There is one being having many experiences. There is only God. The differentiation between the cells in your own physical body, which you have 150 trillion cells in your body. Your body is a microcosm of the body of God. The cells in your body each have their own identity and function. And because they cannot see the body that they come together to create, the whole, the one, they see themselves as individuals. They think that the separation is real, and they don't understand that they are within your body, the same way that you don't understand that you are in the body of God, an individual cell with your own identity and function, but not separate from the body, not separate from the whole. The matrix is the illusion of separation from God and one another. Flesh does not separate the spirit. Flesh just houses the spirit, but the spirit encompasses the flesh. So when I say that, think about the human torus field, okay? Your body is in the very center of the electromagnetic field of your heart. But it's all around you, and it's also coming from within you. So this is an energy that permeates who you are. It's being generated by you, and yet has become your world. So the electromagnetic field of the heart forms the torus field that surrounds your body and creates your aura. It is your energy, frequency, and vibration. It's your own personal energy signature. And it's ever changing as your thoughts and emotions change. But the electromagnetic field of the heart also represents the mind. See, when you're hardwired into the matrix, then you think that the brain represents the mind because it's physical. The mind is not a physical thing. Now, the brain can represent, it can be a physical representation of the mind, but it is not the mind. The mind encompasses the entire body and is actually connected to the heart. So the brain is the thinking mechanism. The brain thinks, the mind knows, and knowing is in the heart. It's not in the brain, it's in the heart. So when we talk about this divine balance that must be had, the balance that we always talk about in Mayat, the balance of Mayat and Kemet, the balance of the divine feminine and masculine, the yin yang energy is represented in the human body by the heart and the mind. The mind would be the divine masculine energy, the intellect. And the heart would be the divine feminine energy, the emotion, the intuition. When they come into balance and they know their proper function, then you can connect into the mind of God. You're plugged into the source. When you see, we always talk about balance, but what is the purpose of achieving this balance? because everyone understands that we're trying to achieve balance between divine masculine, divine feminine, balance within the self so we can bring balance in the world, balance between the light and the darkness, balance between the good and the bad. What happens once we achieve balance? So balance is also the brain and the heart coherence. If we're going to look physically, it would be the heart and the brain coherence. It would be coherence between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. It would be each part, each aspect of the self working and to do its proper function. So the proper function, no, I don't want to do a PK. The proper function of the heart and the mind would be that the mind should be brought under submission to the heart, because the heart knows the truth. It knows the way back home. The heart is where the Spirit of God lives within you. You can trust your heart to know the way, right? Most people don't trust the heart. And this is why most people don't have a very personal relationship with God, because they don't really know that God, that's where God lives. They're looking outside of themselves. They're listening to the pastor. They're listening to, everything but that voice inside of them. If we brought the heart under we brought the mind under submission of the heart, then the mind would be employed to carry out the desires of the heart. Because see, the mind is always creating. The mind is where you visualize. The mind is where you're sending an order to the universe and saying, create this for me. Reconfigure yourself to become this for me. Because that's what God does, right? God says, let there be light, and there's light, and whatever God says is. And God is using your voice to speak things into being, because God lives within you. So when you hold a vision in your mind of something that you desire in your heart, you are telling the mind to carry out the desires of my heart. And this is how you get to heaven. You bring the mind under submission to the heart, because your heart is where all of your happiness, your heart knows what it wants. It's where your desires live. It's where it's where everything because your mind does not know without the heart being involved what it actually wants. The mind can only think, okay? It doesn't know anything. It wasn't designed to be, running the show in your life. It was designed to carry out the desires of your heart. But because most people's hearts have been hardened, most people have locked down the heart chakra as a defense mechanism for whatever traumas or whatever we've suffered, growing up or whatever. People's hearts are not properly spinning at the vibration, at the rate that it should be. Hence the human condition of the illusion of separation from God and one another, because we're not perceiving the reality through our hearts. We're perceiving it through our minds. And your mind is using the physical eyes, which only sees the illusion. When your heart opens, your third eye opens. They are connected. And until your third eye opens, until your heart opens, you only see the illusion. And the illusion that you're looking at is under the control of the most low, until you connect with the most deep. I just said something. See, the enemy of the truth is the master of illusions. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And so if you are looking with the set of eyes that only sees the illusion, you have to understand that you're not seeing the truth. The devil is a lie. There is no separation between you and I or between us and God. There's one being having many experiences. But the laws that these many experiences must work under all point back to the truth of the fact that there is but one being. All the laws point to oneness, unity. They point to you not being able to get away from yourself. They point to you not being able to get out of the loop of your own energy, because there is but one being. I don't care what you think you've done to another person. I guarantee you it's coming back. That's like me throwing something at the mirror and thinking that it's going to hit the person in the mirror and not realizing it's going to bounce back off the mirror and hit me in the face, because that's me in the mirror. The universe is God in the mirror. You are God. How are you God? Your spirit is your true identity. Your body is just a vessel for that spirit. Do you not know that you are God's? Your body is the temple of God, and the Spirit of God lives in you. Now, all you have to do is shift your perspective to identifying with the self as the body, which is the temple, and identify with the self as the spirit, because that is the truth that will set you free from the illusion of separation from God. The body is not separate from the spirit until death. And then, you can separate from the body, but what I'm saying is the body is not who you are. The body is a vehicle. It is a tool. It is a vessel. It is a temple. That you are using to navigate this particular reality. There are other realities that you can navigate without a physical body. So what I'm trying to get you to understand in many different ways is that you are the consciousness in the body. And when you are done using the body to navigate this reality, your consciousness will move on into other realities to have other experiences. You do not die, because you are life itself. You are the spirit in the body. Now, the miraculous thing about who and what you are is that you are fully human. The body is yours for the time that you are using it. It does belong to you. So you can say, yes, this is my body. Just like this is my outfit. This is my car. This is my body. But who am I? Who am I? I am that I am. What does that mean? Well, we are human beings, right? So you are fully human in your physicalness, okay? And you are fully divine in your spirituality. So you are both fully human and fully divine. The body belongs to you, and you are the spirit that the body belongs to. I just said something. The body is yours and it does belong to you, but you are the spirit that the body belongs to. So when they say to you, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Your body is the temple and the spirit of God lives in you. So now, during the Great Awakening, it's time to shift the perspective from being the temple to being the spirit within the temple. You are the spirit within the temple. Is it not you looking out through your own eyes? How can you be a body and not be connected to the spirit that's in the body? The only way that the body is alive is that the spirit has come into the body and animated it. So you can't think that I'm just the temple, but I'm not the spirit. I'm just really trying to bridge the gap between you and God for those who think that there is a separation, that God is separate from you, and also bridging the gap between you and I, because there is no separation. Thank you for the people who have gifted. I don't when I'm not constantly looking at the screen, so now I'm looking back because I do want to thank the people who have gifted. Miss B, I appreciate you, and everyone else who has sent the gifts. So yeah, I am going to be doing this. Uh, okay, people who wanted me to follow you back, I am following you guys back. Okay, so yeah, so tonight I just really wanted to come in and try to shift your perspective, because going forward I will be speaking from the perspective of spirit, and I will be speaking to those who do have divine knowledge of self, knowledge of the part of the self that is divine. So there was a lot more that I wanted to say tonight. I do want to, because there's so much, I'm getting so many downloads. I want to connect the Yellow Brick Road, the Wizard of Oz, okay? Because all of these things are metaphors for, and I'm sure there are a lot of different schools of thought, and people can take these things and decode them to mean a lot of different things. But for me, I can definitely relate the whole story of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, and the Yellow Brick Road, and all of the things that she experienced, in that particular movie, to the spiritual path. And so that's what I'm going to be doing going forward, because I'm actually going to use the Wiz. Okay, it's the black version of it was the black version of the Wizard of Oz. For those of you, I hope that everyone has at least seen the Wizard of Oz, or at least one of those, one of the versions. Okay. So I am going to come and I'm start doing my daily downloads in this manner. And then when I go live with my family, we will cam up. And then even after I do these, I will open a panel and allow people to come up, and then we can continue to discuss whatever it is that came up in the live. We'll go down the rabbit hole on it. So this was just a quick trial run. I wanted to, because this is my first night back on YouTube, and I wanted to go back live on YouTube. So I'm going to run this back and listen to the playback after I do it and see how it goes. And then I will also come at a more reasonable hour. So when I end this live, I may come right back, okay? Because I really just wanted to do this as a trial run, to see how I'm doing on both platforms. I want to look at, I want to listen to how my live got recorded on YouTube and all of that. And then I may come right back. And if not, I will be back at some point today. It'll be back. I will be back within an hour once I end this live. I just want to check out a few things so that I can officially go live and do my daily downloads. And it is only 6:27 a.m. So I am going to go ahead. I do see my people joining me on YouTube as well. So I'm going to end both of these lives because I did start off, just kind of just wasting a little bit of time in the beginning to get people to come into the room and also to join me on YouTube. And so I see my YouTube people are starting to wake up as well. So what I want to do is end that live that I'm doing on YouTube. I'm going to end this one as well, but I will be right back. Okay. And King Henoch, I did follow you back. Okay. And again, if for those of you who don't come back with me, I appreciate the people who have gifted me, who have hung out and kicked it with me. Make sure that you guys do follow and special follow, double tap, share the live. And I will be, like I said, I will be back, you guys, with my daily downloads. I will be sharing. I will be opening my boxes and opening my opening a panel after I do the downloads, and we will be getting it in going forward. So welcome to the rabbit hole. To my YouTubers, welcome back to my live on House of Healing LLC. And I said, give me about an hour or less, you guys. It may even be, it's 6:28. I'm gonna say I'll try to be back at 7 a.m. my time, okay? And then I'm going to decide what time my morning show is going to be, or what time of day I am going to do my daily downloads. And so I will be back, you guys. And I do appreciate the guys who have been rocking with me. I do have 165 people in here right now. I'm sending you all peace, love, light, and healing. And when I come back, I am going to be unraveling some of y'all. You will be receiving a healing. You will be receiving a word and whatever else it is you need, because God's people have been activated. And if they haven't stepped up to the mic by now, they're not going to do it. Okay. Many have been called, but few are chosen. Hint, hint to those of you who are still waiting. The time is now. Okay. Peace, love, and light, my people. Pure, I love the purple hearts. Okay. And I will be back within a half hour, my people, and we're going to do our big one. Okay. Peace.